This story is not one for the faint-of-hearted. This is about a suicide website which has been linked to 50 UK deaths and the government's failure to act on it. I'm going to read into this more from the BBC, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an article from the BBC with the headline that the failure to act on suicide website which is linked to 50 UK deaths. You guys know my mental health issues that I've had in the past, and I saw this story and I was hesitant to want to cover it, but I feel if I don't cover it, I'm doing a disservice to myself, just as much as it's a service of not informing you guys of this one. And it's one that you guys know how I feel about it. So I may share more thoughts as we go along, but let's go right into it, guys. If you're wondering, if you're new and you probably don't know my stories, I will put a link into the description of the live stream I did a few months ago that will better understand why I feel so deeply about this. So British authorities have failed to act on multiple official warnings about a website promoting suicide that has been connected to at least 50 UK deaths, the BBC has found. The online forum, which we are not naming, is easily accessible to anyone on the open web, including children. Our investigation has identified multiple warnings to governments by cornerers and a number of police investigations, but the forum still remains active. Families of the dead, the youngest, just 17, said the failure to act led to more avoidable deaths, and they are demanding an inquiry. They're speaking out despite the risk others may find the forum because they want action to shut it down and prevent deaths in the future. The forum founders remain elusive, but during our investigation we managed to track one of them down to his home in the US. The government was first warned by a coroner about the forum in December 2019. I'm recording this on the 24th of October 2023, and the government was first warned about this in 2019. More than 3 years, guys. More than 3 years they were warned about this. Callie Lunas had been assessed as being autistic at a young age and struggled with chronic depression and suicidal thoughts. Callie spent just over a month as a forum member. She researched a new suicide method that brought materials which she later used to end her life. Without those forums, I think my daughter would have struggled to find the information that she was looking for about how to die, Callie's mother Sarah told the BBC at the time. If you've been affected by any issues in this story, help and support is available by the BBC Action Line. I will put a link to them and others in the description, guys. The inquest into Callie's death highlighted the role the forum had played. After an inquest, coroners have a duty to ask the public bodies, companies and individuals to explain what steps are being taken to prevent a similar death taking place in the future. This is called a prevention of future death report. However, it is advisory only, and it doesn't lay down what action should be taken. The senior coroner in charge of Central and SE Kent, Parika Harding, wrote to the Department of Culture, Media, Sport, raising concerns. Callie was enabled by the advice provided through the forum to frustrate a mental health assessment and therefore take his life, Ms. Hadley wrote. In my opinion, action should have been taken to prevent future deaths, and I believe you have the power to take such action. So these faces here, guys, people I've known to have visited the forum before taking their lives. They believe these people who have issues, and Beth Matthews, Aaron Jones, Imong Inung, Josh Henry, Zoe Loud, Jay Bar, apologies, Laura Campbell, Jason Thompson and Rowan Patterson. 50 UK deaths. We have discovered at least 6 coroners have written to the government departments demanding action to shut the forum down. Colliding inquest reports, press articles and posts on the forum itself, we have identified at least 50 UK victims. We have learned that at least 5 police forces were aware of the forum and have investigated death links to it, but are unable to take action. The forum is hosted abroad and is well known among those struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts. It has more than 40,000 members worldwide. More than 2 million messages have been posted, many of them horrifying graphics. Only last month, a post on the forum showed an image of a package that arrived by a courier, apparently poisoned, ordered by a child in another country. It arrived while I was at school, they wrote. I called my mum and told her not to open it. I'm going to use it today. Another user posted a photograph of his hotel bedroom with equipment set ready for a suicide attempt. Other forum members offer encouragement to these kinds of posts. Good luck, I hope it works out well for you and you go peacefully, writes one user. Godspeed, says another. The problem for the authorities is that the website is hosted anonymously and no one knows who's currently running it. But the BBC did manage to track down one of those who created it. So before I go any further, guys, I'm just going to swap out for a moment. Because this is very hard for me. You do not in any way, if you're ever feeling these thoughts, just stay away from these anonymous websites and anonymous forums, because they are not there to help you. They're not going to help you. They're not going to make you better. They are not trustworthy, and you're only going to hurt everyone else around you if you even consider doing it. And I implored anyone who watches this and has those thoughts to speak to professionals. There are plenty of people out there. There are plenty of websites of good, such as Samaritans here in the UK, for example, who will listen to you and will hear your thoughts and help you out. Whatever this forum is called, please don't go looking for it. Please do not go looking for it, because no matter who you are, wherever you are in the world, listening to this, you're not alone. We all have problems. I have mental health issues. You guys know that. I've spoken about it before. And it's incredibly heartbreaking to hear people saying these kinds of things. It's very, very hard for me to read this and talk about this with you guys, because these people are ending their lives because they've contemplated it and been on that edge, and this forum literally pushes them off the edge, when the real people who can help them can take them away from that cliff. And I don't know why they're doing this. What are they benefiting out of this? Whoever behind these forums, the people behind them, are doing it. Before obviously we carry on reading, I just want to also point out that this is not just something that the UK government or UK police force can do. This has to be on a cross international basis to tackle. This has to be coordinated with America, with France, with other nations. This needs to be co-coordinated on an international scale, something like this, not just from one nation if it is abroad, because that's the only way you're going to shut something like this down. There has to be multi-international cooperation in order to get something like this dangerous down. 40,000 members, guys. 40,000 people are on this website, this forum. That's someone's mum, that's someone's brother, that's someone's sister who have these thoughts, and rather than talking to those around them or other online people, they're going to this forum who are encouraging it. And it's heartbreaking to say the least. So I will, just a reference, I will highlight in caps locks what we're going to be talking about as well on the description. Lamora Small helped set up the forum after a similar pro-suicidal thread was banned from social media forums and discussion site Reddit. Small lives in the suburbs of Huntsville, a city in the US state of Alabama, something of a recluse. He rarely comes out of his house. We wait 3 days to speak to him. Small has claimed in the past he's part to no longer be involved in the forum. When confronted, he refused to ask any of our questions. Families hold Small responsible for hundreds of deaths worldwide. Joe Neal. 23-year-old Joe Neal from Leeds found the forum in April 2020. Joe spent a month online exchanging messages from other forum users, being coached on the most effective way to die. Joe even left a note to his family spelling out how dangerous the forum had been to him. Please do your best to close that website for anyone else, he wrote. The government are failing people, the police are failing people, said Joe's sister-in-law Melanie. It's a joke, interjects Joe's mother Caroline. The government knew about this 5 years ago. Why are we still here? Are we supposed to just leave this and let it continue? Joe's death prompted another coroner's letter. Kevin McClurk, senior coroner of the West Yorkshire East, wrote to the Department of Health and Social Care. The forum, he said, may be actively promoting a particular method of committing suicide and hence breaking the criminal law by assisting suicide. Consideration should be given to blockage its availability in the UK as to negate its risks. The family of those who have died do not want to know why more hasn't been done. Imran Nunn was a deaf mental health campaigner who had hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok. But despite her positive messages on social media, Deaf Emmy, as she was known, continues to struggle with her own mental health. She found the forum in November 2022 and ended her life 3 months later. Her mother Louise told us, "When will something be done about it? How many lives have got to be lost?" Lee Cooper blames the website for his brother Gary's suicide. Lee Cooper's brother Gary found the forum and took his own life last July, said, if it was shut down 5 years ago, hundreds of people would still be alive. If it was shut down a year ago, my brother would still be alive. The forum has also received attention from police in the UK after the death of 22-year-old Tom Patrick in Surrey in October 2021. Tom had bought poison from Kenneth Law, a well-known Canadian seller, whose details were widely shared on the forum. When Law was arrested in May this year, Canadian police discovered that he had shipped the same poison from hundreds of buyers around the world. He is now awaiting trial, facing multiple charges of counselling and aiding suicide. Counting the human cost. Welfare checks were carried out, coordinated by the UK's National Crime Agency. It confirmed that 88 people had died in the UK alone. Our research suggests that almost 88 probably found Kenneth Law through the same online forum. There is likely to be considered overlap with the 50 we have positively identified who we know used the site but didn't necessarily buy from Law. We've even found one of the forum's administrators advising users on how to evade welfare checks by police looking for poison shipped by Law. We don't put it in plain sight, they wrote. You don't let them into your house without a search warrant. You don't need to talk to police. While Law's own website has been removed, the forum remains up and users can now find details of alternative supply and suicide methods. The National Crime Agency has begun an investigation into Law to see if there's any criminal offences have been committed in the UK. The agency said it will explore every avenue and has not ruled out looking into the forum too, or it should do. New criminal offences. The UK government says that the Online Safety Bill, due to receive royal assent shortly, should address many of these issues. If it becomes law, the Online Safety Act will include a new criminal offence encouraging self-harm and false platform to remove that kind of content when it's reported to them. The DHSC told us that it played to reduce England's suicide rate within 2.5 years with the new National Suicide Prevention Strategy backed by more than 100 measures including a national alert system. Good. Samaritans told us it should go some way to improve safety. However, Jackie Mossery from the mental health charity has misgivings. It fails to reach its full potential to save lives, she said. Dangerous suicides and self-harm content will continue to be accessible to anyone over the age of 18. Tom Proffitt's father is also sceptical. I don't believe the online safety bill will resolve the problem, he said. It's too weak, it will not lead to change, and consequently people will still be dying. The Suicide Forum recently added an announcement to its front page saying it would not be complying with the UK's online safety bill. It also posted that going forward it would block or ignore demands from censorship from foreign governments. Ofcom, which will take a role in the digital regulator once the act becomes law, said it would be a serious concern if companies say they are going to ignore the law, and adds it would have a broader range of enforcement powers. Sites and apps will have to take steps to stop users from coming across illegal material, and Ofcom says that platforms will have to act swiftly to remove these kind of videos or posts if they become aware of them. As I've said in the video, if you've been affected by any of the issues in the stories, help and support is available via the BBC Action helpline. Get in touch, guys. Make sure that you speak to people on this, guys. You guys know how I feel about this. I'm resenting using foul language because I normally save that for Patreon videos, but I'm not just sad and upset. I'm very, very angry that such a forum exists and such a place exists. And again, I cannot stress this enough. If you have any of these feelings and emotions, please, please, please do not go looking for this place, this website, or this forum, whatever it is. Please stay away from it. Please do, because you will only hurt it will not fix your problems, and all you will end up doing is hurting the people that you love around you. That's what it will do. So please, please, please stay away from it. Please talk to the likes of Samaritans if you're ever having these kind of feelings. There are many good charities and reliable online websites that can help you if you're ever suffering, ever feeling these emotions, guys. But please stay away from this forum. Please, please do. I'm just it's so disheartening that there is a place in the world that encourages this thing, and it actually really makes me physically sick to know that there is a place like that encourages suicide. It's disgusting and vile, to even say the least. And what are they benefiting out of this? The pleasure. What are they benefiting out of this? Is this some kind of sick pleasure? I mean, it's just infuriating, to say the least, guys. It really, really is. If you did watch it through the whole video, thank you. I know it wasn't easy to watch, easy for me to read, easy for me to talk about, and yeah, this was really hard, guys. This has got to be one of the hardest videos I've ever recorded, to say the least. But again, I will stress till the cows come home, guys. Please, please, if you have any of these feelings, please don't go looking for this place. Please stay away from it. So I encourage anyone who has watched this video, if they want to help others, for one time, guys, this isn't about promoting my channel. Like, share and subscribe this. Get the message out there that we have to highlight the dangers of these kind of vile forums that may cause harm to people. It's really, really important. So just let's make sure that people know that there is such a place out there, and that we must try to bring it down as much as possible. And I generally hope that not just here in the UK but other nations, they work together on this issue, because it is not just a UK issue. This is a global issue. As I said, it needs to be cross-referenced on an international scale to stop forums like these becoming more, because there will be more coming. It won't just be them. There will be others that will encourage it, and we need to ensure that they are brought down and locked out as quickly and humanly as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe as always. And stay safe, and don't be afraid to talk if you ever feeling having those feelings, guys. Remember, you're not alone.